Welcome back to Perspectives on Rise News. Orji Kanu Emmanuel is the founder of Rockford International Schools and national president of Association for Formidable Educational Development. Orji collaborates with the Lagos State government and serves on the National Non-State Education Policy Committee, as well as being the Nigerian country director for the University of Buckingham's TTP Nigeria. He joins me now as we continue to interrogate this very important matter. Good to see you here on Perspectives.
Good morning, Ruth.
Okay. So please tell us, what is AFED about exactly, and who do they work with?
AFED, the acronym AFED, AFED, Association for Formidable Educational Development, is an umbrella body for low-cost private schools in Nigeria. And our major target is children that are actually in the rural areas and suburban and blighted communities within the cities. And of course, people from low-income households. Okay, so how do you work with the government and NGOs or private sector? Do you work with any of them to ensure that your goal is achieved? Yeah, education, like we know, is a collaborative work. And in every climate, of course, in Nigeria, government regulates whatever that goes on in that sector. And so our schools are actually collaborating with government in ways of meeting up with the standard. Because in every community or in every state, in Rivers, in Lagos, in Ondo, there are standards set by the state government. And that a school must at least meet the minimum standard. These are some of our pursuits. So, and in most cases, for instance, in Lagos, over time, Lagos have realized that this standard, we're so high, but how can we actually bring it to a minimal level where some of these schools can be accommodated and will be within the radar to enable them monitor them? So these are some of the things we've been able to do over time through advocacy. And we are collaborating also with NGOs. Some I saw these beautiful ladies that left here. Some of them have worked with us in the field. And the whole essence is to ensure that gaps are bridged. Okay. Let me ask, with over 18 million, in fact, Tonya was saying it's not even 18 million anymore, it's over 20 million children out of school. How does AFED ensure that the pursuit of affordability does not compromise its students? Like, for instance, we know about the issue of 100 naira per day. Yeah. So let's just assume a family of 6, a man that has 4 children. Every day he has to give 400 naira to go to school. What now happens if he cannot provide this anymore? Yeah, in terms of affordability and also standard, it's a very huge challenge, I must tell you. Yes, it must be. But the truth is that we are confronting it. There is this saying that where there is a way and there is a... Yeah, but what has been done for those who haven't... I'm sure there have been real-life experiences. Yes, that's the area I'm going to now. Okay. Because whether you like it or not, like when we say 20 million, sometimes I do not believe that. Because some of these children are in our kind of schools, in the different states. And in terms of computation of number of children that are in school, some of these children, these people are not captured in the... in that statistics. Okay. So, and at the end of the day, by the time they do their permutations, 1 or 2, and they'll say these ones are also out of school. But that is not to say there is a huge staggering number of children that are out of school. So what do? We've been doing a whole lot. Our advocacy have yielded fruit. The results include some individuals helping to pay for these children who are in school. We have a couple of, there are some schools in Makoko here. Since they started from their crèche till secondary school, somebody is responsible for it. Even also in my own school, there are children, over 70 of them, somebody is paying for, but I do not even know the people involved. Apart from that also, there are also other means where children have to collect plastics, and those plastics are converted. They are sold and converted as fees on their behalf. Okay. We also have advocated for those children who are paying 100, 500 per day. Please put it together, the owners of these schools, put it together. Let's know what it will amount in the end of the term. The schools put it together, not the parents, because if they could put it together, they wouldn't even be paying this in the first place. Yeah, when we say schools should put it together. So the schools should put the funds together, yeah, and then what? The schools should put, assuming a child is paying 100 naira per day, in a week, that will be about 500. In a term, how much would that be? Okay. That will enable us to know the individuals who will assist these children.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Okay. Okay.
Those are some of the kind of interventions we do for this kind of low-income households.
Okay. So in terms of dropouts too, you've also managed to cut that down.
Yes, definitely.
But have you had incidents where the rate of dropouts was worryingly high?
Yeah, everyone is worried, even including those in public schools.
So what are the particular challenges that you face that this always happens?
Yes. Of course, some of them not being able to pay these fees will definitely cause them to drop out of school. And that's why if you come to our kind of schools, there are children, we have insisted in our association, at least 5% of these children who are indigent must be on scholarship.
Okay.
Across all our schools in the Federation. So these are some of the things we do as a give back to the society. And again, we also are able to mitigate the issues of our dropout, working with the communities, because these schools are sited in the communities where the barless, the churches are involved. So if a child, just like what we used to have in those days, if a child has not gone to school, somebody will ask, why is this child not in school? So with this collaboration between the community and the school owners and the association, we're able to ensure that these children are in school.
But wouldn't you have thought that that would bring the issue of dropouts to the barest minimum?
Yeah, of course.
But why do we still have a lot of children on the streets?
Why we do have that? Because some of these parents actually consider these children as part of their household income generators. And to a reasonable extent, these are why we are advocating day by day, reaching out with, we go to the street to tell people, these children need to consider your future. You need to allow these children to go to school. Again, if you come to Lagos, like the survey we conducted, I think that was 2002, with the current Vice Chancellor of Buckingham University, we observed that the number of children that were out of school have actually dropped from what it used to be to about 4% at that time. So, because of our kind of effort. And so with a continuation of this effort, we believe that we'll continue to achieve results in that direction.
But do you think that you can also work with the government to actually make it illegal to find children under a certain age actually selling goods on the streets? Is it possible? Is this something that can happen?
Yeah, there are laws already. Government, for instance, in Lagos State.
No, but people don't get arrested.
It's also because some of the things we are doing, government just think that those people who are in government, some of them worked with us. But once they get into government, I do not know whether they forget all of these efforts we were all making together. So otherwise, there should be a collaboration. If there is a collaboration, and government, nothing is wrong if government sets up a committee comprising of those from the ministry and those from the private sector to see to it that no child is seen on the street.
If any child on the street will be arrested
because somebody
has to be responsible for that. Because I think it breaks one's heart when you just see them in the sun selling groundnut or selling gala.
Sometimes there are spaces in our schools to accommodate
this.
Yeah, they are.
There are actually spaces.
Oh, they are. Let me give you an instance. I have a space that can take up to 600, 700 people. But if you get to that space, I have just built about 300 people.
How much awareness have you created about this knowledge? Because this is the first I'm hearing that.
Okay, in Lagos, for instance, we're over 8,000 schools. Yeah. And so that's to tell you we are actually many. There are a huge number. There are over 1 million children in our kind of schools in Lagos alone.
No, but that 800 spaces, how do the rural people, how are they aware?
Oh, they are aware. They are aware. They are fully aware. They are very much aware.
So how come you still have the spaces then?
Yeah.
With people on the street still begging for
Because
money?
these schools are actually many. Like you get to my street, you can have like 5 of them on the street.
But how much space would you have for each school, for free education?
For me, I think in my school, I have up to, as I speak to you now, over 30 people who are on scholarship.
Oh, wow.
From primary to secondary.
Okay. But this is not...
This is across my member schools.
So but how do you get the message across to them locally? For them for the pepper seller to know that there's an opportunity for her child to go to school without her having to pay?
Yeah, we just finished from a conference.
Create awareness.
Yes, creating awareness.
Yes.
We've done that and we've been doing that. Sometimes we go on newspaper publication. And another way is just like you have invited me here. I'm sure a lot of people are listening to me. There are free schools. There are schools. And where they are not free, there are places you can pay just stipend.
About how much?
It ranges depending on location. We have schools that are still collecting up about 10,000 naira per term of 3 months.
Okay.
We have that of But all of these things are within the locus level.
Okay. But so what are the challenges that you find most pertinent and you wish that the government will address more urgently?
Yeah, the gathering I was addressing on Monday this week, I had some people from ministry. I told them one of the basic distractions. Like when I returned from Abuja this last month, I saw a lot of letters from the ministry on my table. One is asking you, go and get the approval of your building you've done over many years. One is asking you, go and pay for land use charge. One is asking you, a lot of distraction through this taxation. Exactly. Overtaxing what we are even trying to make ends meet within this space. So it's a challenge. Apart from that, we also believe that government, like what we said earlier, not paying attention to those people who are actually on the streets. Because even when we pick some of them and bring them to school, sometime before you know it, you'll still find them back to the streets. So it's a big challenge.
Why does that happen though?
It happens because, I've told you earlier, when the parents are not able to sustain what we have agreed, and that's why on our own part, as corporate social responsibility, we have said at least 5% of those children must receive scholarship. Okay. And of course, when we talk about scholarship, it's a very huge thing. There are books there are cost of a uniform, there's cost of school fee. So all of those things where you put together, we have said at least 5% of your total population of each school should be on scholarship.
So you're actually saying that some parents take their children back to the streets because they need the income those children are bringing in, as opposed to giving these children free education.
Oh, yes. And of course, in our climb here, children also have recently woken up to the slang that education is a scam. Because when they see people who actually did not go through school seriously becoming our leaders, and that is imposing a great danger to the nation.
Anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Orji Emmanuel, for your brief but very sound inputs on this very controversial and very sensitive issue in Nigeria. So thank you for being with us in Perspectives. We hope to see you again soon.
It's a pleasure, Ruth. Thank you very much.
The challenges facing education in Nigeria are significant, but they're not insurmountable. By all stakeholders investing collectively in quality education for every child, we're not only transforming individual lives, but also paving the way for a more prosperous and unified Nigeria. Let us act decisively, guided by our shared vision, to ensure that no child is left behind, because the future of our nation depends on the actions that we take today. That's all we have time for today. And I keep saying, remember that life is a learning curve. So you'll be watching Perspectives here on Arise News with me, Ruth Osime. Until next week, same time, do have a safe and good time. God bless you.